All right. Hello again, adventurers, and welcome to another exciting episode of The Legend of the Three Kingdoms. Yes, this is one of my custom D&D campaigns set in my screwed... Oh, this is set up in an even more screwed up demi-plane of my weird custom D&D world and the people below me. I have tricked to be here. I mean, I'm gonna lay it out right now. I have lied, cheated, and stolen to convince them to play D&D with me. And I hope one day they will forgive me. I don't know how likely that is, but one day. Anyway, we do have a new face joining us. This is I just call him Imp, but he has a real name named Joshua, but I just call him Imp. And he will be playing a new KK character that will be introduced today.
And I will not be playing a goblin today,
Which is really nice. I'll be extremely happy to not have someone from Brooklyn in the cast. So,
you got a problem?
Anyway, so yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything special going on. Nothing I can announce right now, though next week you may want to watch my YouTube channel, because something special may be happening over there. So, with that, I think it's time for us to return to the legend of the Three Kingdoms. The party has recovered a familiar face. Setting fire to half of Ilmorn, the party was able to sneak into the secret sub-basement of Vala's former home. There, they discovered someone who had been speaking about the Dark Lady, something generally frowned upon in this realm. When Liliane and Argenta were able to free them, they discovered this strange person that they had been asked to rescue was none other than Liliane's father, whom she had not seen in a significant amount of time before she had started training in the ways of the Blood Hunters. Unfortunately, the group decided it would be best to regroup before trying to take down the mayor of the town. So they went back to the secret hideaway square box that they had been hidden in the day before. And that is where we meet with them again. So, when we last left, you guys had been put into your big box again, and the door had been barred from the outside, and the only real difference this time is Henri is not with you due to him being taken away by some strange flying creature. And Liliane's father was. Shortly after they barred the door, you heard it unbar again, and they brought in a little bit of food for you guys. But as of right now, there is no official plan. Your contact with this splinter group is still rather upset that the distraction didn't end with the mayor being killed. So, what would you all like to do? You're in, you know, dimly lit square box, effectively, and there is food and water and other things in there.
Vala is just kind of like sitting in the corner, avoiding eye contact with Lillian.
Um, I'm, I'm, on that, if I think I remember it going down, right?
Uh, yeah, you went down, and then
Yeah.
you effectively woke up looking into your father's face as he was kind of weeping.
uh,
So you do remember, getting up and
yeah.
leaving and everything, but there's a period of time where you have no memories because you
Yeah.
didn't exist for a little bit.
Yeah. I will be like, what happened in what?
Argenta's like opening some rations, and she's just like, "You died. Your
I,
father, your father helped. He brought you back."
I died. Then how am I here?
Your father's a priest. He helped.
When I made my deal with the third lady to help Alex,
Mm-hmm.
part of the deal was that she wasn't having any connection to their friends. So how is that possible?
Argenta just kind of looks at you. There are things at work.
What was that?
Let's just say that something caught, you you caught something's attention, and we talked with it, and that's all that happened. And you're alive because of it.
So, I mean, anything about it was about being where we are.
You don't have to worry, you're fine. You just have to focus on your deal with the Dark Lady.
Uh, um, can I say she would be the old, but if she hides anything from me,
Um, sure. Go ahead and make an insight check.
uh,
Uh, Argenta, I will let you choose how you want to effectively hide this as information. You can choose deception, intimidation, or persuasion, whichever you feel makes the most sense for how you are keeping this information to yourself.
Okay.
I wanna present.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, unless you have a massive negative, you beat my 19. So,
Yeah, I have a 0.
Wow, so 20 versus a 19. That's cool. So yeah, Liliane, as you sit there and you try to press her further, you realize that something else happened that she's not telling you, but you're not sure what it is. You know that there's more to this as a story than is being led on.
So you said my father helped
He
bring
helped.
me back.
He helped.
Well, I thank you. And then I thank you for bringing me back.
You don't have to thank me. I would have done it anyway.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've been through.
I mean, I ran through a fire beast to save Commander. I've healed Lillian. I've grabbed Henri and swam away with his near corpse. Of course, I've helped.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just getting this idea of I'm good with dead bodies. What can I say?
Hmm.
I do appreciate it. Why over it? I'll go to my father and can you see how he's doing
As you go over, you hear uh, you hear him kind of speaking, almost mumbling to himself. And the closer you get, the more you start picking out some of the words. And he's effectively, the equivalent of praying a rosary to the Dark Lady, where he's just kind of going through these, canned prayers to the Dark Lady, which is kind of interesting. Because from your memory, the whole being a priest of the Dark Lady was a cover, and he was
Yeah.
never, he was never really, really religious. But this person before you is hyper religious, and as you come close, he doesn't stop praying or anything. But he does kind of acknowledge your presence as he continues going through his prayers.
um oh you down there whatever that well.
Okay. The remainder of the prayers that he needs to go through takes the better part of an hour to get through them completely. Which is another thing that's kind of impressive with you. Even when you were living in a church that did a Dark Lady, you don't know anyone that prayed that long without being punished to do that. Like, that was a penance that you would do. But he's apparently doing this of his own volition. And afterwards, he makes a sign of the Dark Lady, which is you trace a crescent around, go up, and down again. And so he does a sign of the Dark Lady and turns to you, and you can see the remnants of tears in his eyes as he goes, You're taller than I remember.
Yeah, well, it have been a few years.
Yes. very good with that sword.
I've had some good training and the food in the game. I will use it.
Can I see it for a moment?
So,
You see him kind of holding it, and when you first hand it to him, he holds it almost like he's never held up a blade before in his life. You see there, and you kind of go, wait, one of those, maybe you should. But then his entire mannerisms and demeanor changes as his hand kind of closes around the hilt, and he kind of picks it up, and he holds it as if he had been using that blade his entire life. And he kind of swings it a little bit. It's lighter than I remember. It seems, and he looks at one of the engravings that you have added. Seems you've added to it.
Yeah.
More power than when I used to wield it. And he kind of flips it over and hands it back to you. I'm happy it found a more talented master.
No, do I remember?
No, you. I believe when you got the sword, when it was given to you, eventually you were told it was your father's sword at one point, but you never saw him use a sword in your little life. You were unaware he knew how to. He kind of turns to you. Probably wondering why I know who you are and why I know about things that didn't happen here.
Yeah. And how you ended up here?
Well, the day you all went before the Blood Council, something bad happened. We don't entirely know what, but that day, rips, tears formed in the sky all over the three kingdoms. And something, we don't know what it is, reached down and just started scooping people up. It took the Blood Pack, it took the King of Valkovia, and then just seemingly at random it would take people all over the three kingdoms. And after it was done, the tears, they didn't go away. But instead of taking people, they would appear randomly, and they would bring with them creatures. Horrible, violent creatures. The entire continent has been under siege. A delegation from each kingdom met in Valakovia because our cities are remarkably resistant to attacks with their high walls. And we started studying what had happened and realized what the Dark Lord had done. And we knew you and your friends must have had something to do with it, and they mentioned your name as one of the people involved, and I realized you were still alive, and so they asked for volunteers. I was one of them. There were 4 others. I don't know if anyone else made it here. But during the ritual, I felt myself dying. And for the first time in my life, the holy symbol that I'd always worn seemed to have weight to it, seemed to be important. So I held on to it, and I asked the Dark Lady to help me save you, and then I was here. I have no idea how long I've been here. I lost track of time when I was down there. I don't know if time is the same here in there, but I knew she was watching over me so that I could save you, so I could tell you. You all, and now he kind of looks at the rest of your group. You all, you're the key to this. We studied this for months to try and figure out what he did. We went back to the ruins of the Blood Citadel. We had brilliant wizards and sorcerers, and look over the spells and the remnants of what was left there. This was personal to him. He wanted you specifically to suffer. So, if we can stop that suffering, prevent that suffering, well, that might just stop whatever it is that's happening here. It might fix the world. It might save everyone back home from these beasts, these demons. My job was to tell you that you need to end him. You need to end this. Not only for yourselves, but for everyone. But beyond that, I don't know. That's all I was supposed to do. We don't have a solution to this. We just know the problem. We're kind of hoping you could come up with a solution.
Well, we've been fighting for a while. But we always said we got back together ourselves. You said there were 3 others.
So I didn't get that last part.
You said there were 3 others that were with you.
4 others. There was a total of 5 of us. But it's possible I was the only one that made it. When I arrived here, I literally had my holy symbol, and that was it. No clothes, no tools, nothing. And I appeared apparently in the middle of the disappearing mists. I don't know how I got out of there, but shortly after getting to Ilmorn, I fell in with apparently the wrong people, and I met your other friend. And he looks over at Vavala. To be honest, I was rather surprised when I realized who she actually was. The vigilante is quite different in person than in the stories.
Yeah. You must give me all hello. I am created a cult.
It's impressive.
Yeah. They were at me and them devoted to the salvation, but I mean, thank you, God, this year. It wasn't exactly what it seemed.
Yeah, I was surprised with the disdain and people felt for the Dark Lady. Again, until I got here, I would not consider myself a religious man, which is ironic. I
Yeah,
agree. But, however the gods are viewed here is well, blaspheme is really the best
yeah.
description for it.
Well, I think he is really from God. Yeah.
Relatively certain he's not a god, in
Well,
case you were
I
wondering.
mean,
But he is powerful.
yeah.
Well, so,
What,
is this where
what
you...
about, what about mom?
That's a slight bit more complicated. She was taken during the initial tears. I had thought to try and find her once I got here, but I was never able to. I have no idea where she would be or if she's even still alive here.
Oh,
The clerics for the Dark Lady back home, they said anyone that was taken, if they die here, they're not getting sent to Tartarus or Elysium. They're not being sorted by the Dark Lady, so we're not entirely sure what happens if you did die here.
yeah, dude. I have my own phone. I was able to get the salvation interviewed in one situation, but after that, I mean, he knew she was here. She told me that she was going to move the connection here after that.
That can't be true. I prayed to her and she resurrected you. You must have misheard.
Maybe,
Anyway, and
but
you would notice when you mentioned that his mannerisms changed. He started breathing a little bit faster and seemed very upset by that idea. Anyway, we should talk with your friends.
yeah,
We should figure out what the next plan is. Your accommodations here are lovely. Yes, very nice.
but I figured prove that everybody was.
Valid point. And he kind of goes over. While all of this is happening, Rowan,
Present.
it's been a few days since you left Minwell, and you're finally getting to see the walls outside Ilmorn. Despite the fact growing up in Meisenford and Ilmorn technically being the closest city to you, because of the disappearing mists, you've never actually seen Ilmorn before. But you'd heard descriptions from travelers and merchants and things. Getting here, though, this doesn't seem like the Ilmorn you were suspecting. Most of the merchants that described Ilmorn described the opulence of it. You know, the wealthy literally lived above all of the peasantry due to the fact that it was built on with an upper city and a lower city, and just the sheer amount of wealth and just comfort that existed there, you kind of expected to see this kind of glowing jewel of a city. But as you get there, you see these incredibly high, dark stone walls with a large door that is shut tight. You can see over the tops of the walls, you can see a few of the outlines of the mansions and things like that, but you also see smoke rising. You can see certain buildings that are silhouetted by large fires. Apparently, something has gone terribly wrong in
We're
this
still
city.
on. Okay. Sorry, I crashed for a second.
Yeah, my internet connection keeps coming in and out, so... or at least my stream keeps coming in and out. My internet connection is fine. I'm gonna, next time before I do this, I'm gonna change servers.
Oh.
So as you get closer and closer to Ilmorn, you start suddenly feeling a pull. And it's not towards the door. It's around the outside, to the east, actually. And this pull is kind of directing you to go around the city as opposed to entering it. What would you like to do?
Well, I guess I'll follow that poll. If if I'm feeling guided so far, might as well. Why stop now?
Okay. As you're going around, you just see more and more and more wall. But eventually you get to a point where the pull that you're feeling is pulling you directly into the wall. Like, you're like, okay, here's a wall, but I think I'm supposed to go into the wall. And as you reach forward, the wall doesn't stop you. As you go through, you suddenly realize you are in kind of an opening in the wall. And as you're getting used to the fact that you've just gone through a remarkably good illusion, you suddenly hear the sound, of a crossbow being readied. And you see 3 gentlemen aiming crossbows at you.
Oh boy. I.
Keep your voice down, you knob.
Most people usually don't keep quiet voices when weapons are pointed at them. They tend to raise their voices.
Most people don't go walking just randomly into walls and finding secret hideouts, now do they? So, we could make this a lot easier. You give us a reason why we don't fill you up full of bolts, which would silence you real quick. and maybe we can move forward.
Okay, I don't. Okay, I have really been following, let's just say, intuition here. I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess I was needed. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. I understand how that might sound. As of late, I've been going where I've been needed, and this is how I ended up here. Okay. I take a look at these guys. Do they look like they're rough for wear? They
Uh,
are
if you
hurt,
were
bedraggled.
if you were to think up an image of the word brigand, that is what you would think. They don't look like they're hurt at all. Like they look like they're in relatively decent shape, though they obviously are not wealthy or well fed or any other thing like that. But they're wearing, dark leathers. A couple of them actually have hoods and masks over them. The only one of them actually doesn't, and he's the one that's speaking to you.
Okay, okay. I'm gonna go out on a limb here. The only reason I ended up here is because I am searching for someone. Maybe we can help each other, and maybe you've seen them. I'm looking
This ain't the
for
lost and found.
people. Looking for people. Maybe we can help each other. And I give the roundabout description of the group I have been informed about has been going from town to town.
And then as you make the description, he goes, "Motherfuck!" And
Okay, so I'm guessing you know them.
two more people kind of appear from behind you,
Oh,
grab your
oh.
arms, and just start
No.
moving you down various alleyways and things like that. If you would like to try to resist, you can.
I don't. You don't have to do that. I'll come along. I'm obviously not going to fight with you surrounding me. You don't need to restrain me. I'm trying.
They're
I'm
not
trying to help.
restraining you as much as they literally just each grabbed an arm and picked you up to move you.
I'm trying to help. I'm gonna hope you're taking me to them. So I'll shut up now.
So they keep going through and eventually going back to the rest of the group as Lillian's father is kind of trying to get you all together. You guys hear some commotion from outside. You hear the door being unbarred, and you watch as the ringleader comes in and they throw this other person at you. Rowan, why don't you go ahead and describe how you look physically?
Basically, Relwyn looks like he is a tiefling. Despite his avatar on the D&D Beyond, he is actually a light blue-skinned tiefling. He has he's wearing spectacles. He has just a shock of short, scruffy white hair. He has onyx black horns, just going up in the old typical curve from the forehead. And aside from that, I guess nebbish would be kind of the way I would describe him. Very, a scholarly person should not be out here, and yet here he is. And if he could look any more out of place, here he is here in this location now. He does wear robes, but it's more like traveling as opposed to, he's not priestly, because I understand that in this world would be kind of like you don't flaunt it kind of thing, but it's more along the lines of travelers paraphernalia, and he's basically kind of been shoved into the cell.
Okay. So as they kind of shove this person that you guys have never seen before, you see James, I think his name is. Wow. Brain just completely went out. The leader of this little ragtag group, "Are you flipping kidding me? Gov, listen, we're supposed to go kill the mayor. That's why I brought you in. You said you could do it, and then you bring an old guy in, and then when we're all done with this, and we set the city on fire, and all the guards are all mad and everything like that, you bring another person in? Like, why the hell would you do that?
A point of order. They didn't bring me in. They didn't know. They didn't know I was coming.
Shut up! Listen, you've lied to me from day one, alright? You're muted. Sorry.
At this point, Vala will silently stand up and turn to him and say, "I'm sorry, the person we rescued, we did so on your behalf. Phase 1 of the plan. And we've never seen him before."
And as you say phase 1, he's like, phase 1? This isn't a multi-phase plan. It wasn't... And now he's getting confused and doubting himself. I thought there was only one phase. You didn't say this was phase 1.
There are...
Remember you wanted us to wait you.
Yeah, but that was like you guys are splitting up, and one of you would do that, and then the other group would go up and kill the mayor. That's not how it's supposed to go.
We were getting your leader first.
Yeah.
Relwyn turns to just one of the random guards beside. Like, it's typically good planning does require several steps and stages. That's just a bit.
Shut up! Is he part of Plan 2 or Phase?
I don't know who he is or where he came from.
They didn't know I was coming. I didn't know I was coming.
Is this surprise birthday party? Like, we're not supposed to be doing surprises here. Why are you coming and they don't know? You lot figure this bloody out. And he goes out. Door is locked, barred again.
Are we all prisoners here? I'm sorry, I just need to be clarified on this.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I could open the door if I wanted to, but it's fine. They feed us.
I tried to explain, but I understand how it sounds. But he is very rude and intimidating. Hi.
If you run into a blood hunter, he's really in control. That guy just talks a lot.
Blood hunter. Okay, well, I was looking for one of you. I think I did hear some information about that.
And you are?
Relwyn Ariok. I'm from Misenford. I guess you are the ones I've been looking for. I've been hearing the drenchers going from town to town, basically getting into trouble and all that. I've been looking for you. I've been kind of following, for lack of a better descriptor, a bit of guidance and a bit of luck and intuition, looking for you. And I'm hoping you can help me, but apparently I kind of wasn't sure about how this would actually go, to be honest.
Why are you looking for wait, I won't pull it, but my hands will be on my sword, and I'll be like, why are you looking for it?
I don't know. How do I see the? I'm sorry. You see the gentleman that you mentioned earlier, Jody, the who was praying. I wasn't here for.
What do you see him, or
was he? Does he still appear to be having the?
No, he's done with the prayers.
Okay, but he doesn't have any of that out there doing. I was wondering if I noticed him.
He does have a symbol of the Dark Lady on his on a necklace that he's not trying to hide in any way, shape, or form.
This is.
All right, hold on for just a second.
Yeah, I saw you were having problems on the stream.
I went and I actually changed servers, hoping that would help, and I still cannot get this thing to balance out. Toronto is West Coast or East Coast? Right. Well, we're live for right now, and it
Yep.
seems more stable than Chicago, apparently. Apparently, it's easier to go from Wisconsin to Toronto than it is to go to from Wisconsin to Chicago.
So I see him, and I also see the person I don't know is Lillian yet. But does Lillian have anything obvious about?
I don't
Um,
know, Lillian. Do you carry any anything outward that would show that you're connected to the Dark Lady in any way, shape, or form?
Yeah, I would have
A
like
holy symbol. Okay.
Amulet.
holy symbol amulet.
Okay.
Kind of like my father again.
Oh, then I would definitely like. This is concerning the, and I see both of them, and I just go make the motion of
And
the Dark Lady.
I'll like take my hand away from my sword. Okay. What about
Um, I had a very strong connection to. I had a very strong connection with her, and now I don't have a very strong connection with her now. It seems to be tenuous at best.
yeah?
And from the rumors and stories I've heard basically a great many things, and I am hoping maybe you might either be able to help or answer. Maybe we can find out the reason why. Uh, she does not appear to have a very strong connection in the realm right as of currently.
Follow will just kind of like sit down, kind of like lean back a little bit and go, "So you're coming to us for help?"
Help, answers, perhaps maybe in a way we can see about maybe I don't reestablishing the connection. I don't know. Okay, I don't know, but what I do know is my connection was getting incredibly stronger over time, and now it is not there as much.
Hmm.
And I feel that there's a lot of problems right now. And I know if I say this to anyone else, this could either land me in an insane asylum, or it could land me in prison, which is not too far off. I hope not. Um,
So what is that? Is it? Are you a priest?
I am a cleric. I am a cleric of the Dark Lady. Yes. And I can't explain it, but I just know that souls seem to be in distress. Is the only way I can really put it. Something's wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, we've we were just talking about that actually.
How much do you know about the world?
Yeah,
A great deal more than I knew a while ago.
We're not on the material plane. We're on a demi-plane, created by the Dark Lord, that is powered by suffering. And apparently, and I'll look over towards Lillian and her father. I apologize for um, eavesdropping. But apparently, according to those on the material plane, when a soul dies here, it is not going to the Dark Lady. We don't. They don't know what happens to it. Maybe you do?
Like, since they have talked so openly, I am now he's me like, I have helped souls pass over before. That was kind of how I discovered I could, the connection I had with her. Sometimes I could help people. Sometimes all I could do was ease their suffering as they transitioned into the next. I
Uh, the idea of multiple planes of existence is something you've never heard before.
I'm dealing with that currently.
So
I
I'm
have,
just
yeah,
putting that out there. The idea of a prime material plane doesn't exist.
yeah.
Your
Right,
understanding of the world is Crucitalia is all of existence.
right now,
Okay.
Relwyn is now filing that into shit. I need to sort
Okay.
sort out later. It's like, oh, on top of that, okay, because like he is waking, like he woke up and he's been aware of more and more things that have been going on that most people took for granted or else just cast aside. So he goes, but now I can't describe how disturbing it feels now. I haven't spoken to any spirits directly or anything. I'm not claiming to be able to do such things per se, but I know that right now, whatever has happened recently, no one is finding any peace.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
If the Dark Lord... This place runs on suffering. The world runs on suffering. The Dark Lord... Maybe these souls being trapped is part of it? And you had found some type of a loophole that was able to help souls pass through.
They're not passing through now.
Well, not anymore. Maybe he found out how and is blocking it somehow. When did it change?
I believe several weeks ago, was it, Jody?
Effectively, basically, the date he describes is the date Lillian made her did a deal.
Yeah.
When you guys were in Scorn Mode, I believe is when it happened, right?
Mm.
So you guys would know the date. It's
Right.
like, oh, they line up.
I just woke up one day and the certain things I couldn't do anymore. The connections I have, I'm not able to access because I would prepare for the next day, and I couldn't change requirements I might have had or needed.
Vala will just take out her tome and just take out a pen and go, that's another one I have to add to the list. Well, that may have been us. It was probably us. I mean,
You directly?
well, not me directly. And I'll just kind of like look over at Lillian. Well, actually, no. That might have been. I might have started that. She pulls out the book again. Because I did start that fight that led to that. So yeah, no, that I mean,
The Dark Lord is very upset, is what I gather you said before, and now
Yeah.
he's responsible, or something
No.
else responsible.
I'll just kind of look over at Lillian.
Well, what happened, father? Because I already tried to explain it to him, but, you know, Valor, she said that multiple players and
Yes, I'm still trying to figure that one out. Okay.
yeah, someone from another coming here, the Dark Lord is making the soul suffer in various ways. We have to come across somebody I knew from the plane, and the Dark Lord became very angry at our interaction and killed my son. I made a bargain with the Dark Lady to save my friend, but in doing so, it avoided the Dark Lord to her presence here, and he shut her out, basically.
Relwyn doesn't say anything. He just goes over to the wall and he just kind of leans against the wall and he just slowly sinks and lean against the wall, sitting on the floor. Well, if I didn't want the answer, I shouldn't have asked the question.
Yeah. Only curiosity how my father react to what I'm saying.
As you were starting to talk about that, he went back to effectively praying the rosary. And he seems intentionally oblivious to that part of the conversation.
Yeah, so you wanted answers.
And apparently I've got them. I'm really hoping we have some way of re-establishing.
Well,
Yeah. That's the easy part.
Easy.
Oh, yeah. We just have to kill the Dark Lord.
Yeah.
Effectively, Rowan has just heard, we're just going to punch God in the face. Rowan just looks at you for like he just pauses, just dead silence for a good 10 seconds. And then he just looks at everyone. Are they in rough shape? Do they look like they've... I had glanced at the
No one
makeup.
here looks great.
Are they low on hit points? Are they?
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys have not had even a short rest yet, so wherever you were at the end of the fight.
Yeah.
I'm visibly low. And I'm visibly exhausted.
I am going to just... I'm going to just go around and I'm going to examine people and their hurts. I'm just going to do what I do and help people that I can. And since I just heard the most heretical thing I've ever heard in my entire life, I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem for me to cast a spell while I am trying to deal with this. And Relwyn is going to cast a 7th level prayer of healing.
Okay.
I didn't know spells went up that high.
That's what happens when you don't multi-class, folks.
I'm a cleric, motherfuckers.
Remind me, prayer of healing, how much did it do?
up to 6 creatures of your choice can see within range equal, and I can heal uh, D8 over 10 minutes. In this case, 7th level will be 7d8 plus 4.
Okay. So you watch as are there components? Are there material components for that particular spell?
For that particular one, no, it's just verbal.
Oh, cool.
So I just make the motion, and I'm just like there, and you guys see me go in the center of the room and just taking Neil just saying very quietly to himself prayers to the Dark Lady, as everyone gets 40 hit points back
So as he does this,
over 10 minutes.
as you're doing this ceremony that you've only ever done this on your own as a way to see if it was possible. You've never actually used this around other people for
Nothing's
obvious
massive.
reasons.
Yes.
So as this is happening, you're kind of thrilled with the fact that you can feel the healing going out, and you can feel their wounds kind of stitching together, and then you feel a hand on your shoulder, and as you kind of look up, you can see Lillian's father holding his holy symbol and praying with you at the same time. You feel no power transfer or anything from him, but you feel his strength there, and you can kind of feel him.
Emotional support.
Yeah, emotional support. It's your emotional support father. So yes, everyone takes, how much was it? 40?
40.
40.
Mm.
Nice little chunk of change. Everyone takes 40 as you guys.
By the way,
Go
for
ahead.
for the effect of the game that I was playing here, and for the ambiance, I chose the sanguine dice. Right in the ear, right? Just wet, slappy, right in the ear.
Oh yeah, that's a fun one.
So yeah, after the 10 minutes up, the rest of you are feeling significantly better than you were before. How many levels of exhaustion do you have, Lillian?
3.
3, okay. And that would be something that you as a cleric would recognize beyond physical wounds, just the levels of exhaustion. You can see his spirit itself has been damaged slightly from, or technically pretty severely, since 6 levels is death. He's half dead. So you would notice that as well.
I've heard stories about you. Apparently, you all have been through a fight recently. If I wasn't so low on resources, I could probably do more. Unfortunately,
I mean, did you see the smoke hanging over the city this morning on your way in?
I was not. What I was expecting to see was not what I saw today. I haven't been in the city. I was approaching the city, and then I felt a pull, and I followed the direction I have been going by these past several weeks, and I ended up going through a wall, and I'm here now after talking to a very angry gentleman pointing a crossbow at me.
He does that. He does that to everyone. Don't take it personally. I feel bad for our part in all of this.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't see why. We can just fix this so easily.
Well, well, no, I did say it would be easy, didn't I?
Rowan just takes out his wineskin and just.
Knowing that's probably not the worst idea. Knowing what we have to do
Knowing is half the battle.
Oh, I think
right.
we're off again.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm recording locally, so.
Okay.
Knowing what we have to do is the easy part. Accomplishing it will be much more difficult. We've been trying to decide a lot of things. We have some ideas. I'll kind of look to the others. Good ideas. but I think we need to start with this town.
Yes, I heard apparently you're going to assassinate someone.
Do you know who I am? Have you heard stories?
I've heard stories about you all in general. I I don't know what do I know their names specifically, Jody, or just
No.
of
Their
them?
their name their names have not been spoken. You, for the most part, you wouldn't.
I've heard some very colorful names associated to your group. People,
Yeah.
I I got some very strange look asking if that was their official group names.
So,
I'm pretty sure the Rat Bastards was not an actual.
And that was one of the nicer names you'd heard.
oh, I've heard. Um, I have a personal history here. Um, as I said, each of us was selected to suffer in our own ways, ways that would be unique to us. Um, for me, in this town, I was selected to be the mayor's eye. To um, get intelligence on those who'd been planning to overthrow him through various means. And I'll just kind of like glance over at Lillian's father. Um, for a long time, I had to choose the lesser of two evils. Whether it was easier or better to, um, whether it was better to stop a revolution, so that way the innocent wouldn't be hurt in the crossfires, or to join in them and potentially burn the city. Um,
But
so
apparently things are so bad now. You're considering the latter.
things are different now.
Apparently,
Um, I think we have a chance of actually doing it, actually taking him out and having it mean something.
um, how how will that fix the connection?
If we lower the suffering, that'll make the Dark Lord weaker. That'll make this place weaker.
He also has these like generals he's
Yeah.
invested power in, and if we snip them, that power is just lost. Something like that.
So, okay, so the man the power who was so powerful, such a powerful ruler of the realm, who's all who know to fear, and we've already anchored. Our job is now we're picking a fight with him, which seems the fight has already been picked, and now he's weakening.
We're working on that. I'll I'll just kind of like, are you sitting down at this point, or
I think back and forth he got up, and then he was walking back and forth as he was taking us in. Nervous tick of like every so often he's just like picking at his horn a bit, just making sure like there's just nothing there. He's making sure it still stays not there.
do you believe the Dark Lady? You have faith in her, don't you?
Yes, and if I was saying this out loud to anyone else, I would really be afraid of a noose or worse. What we have been taught versus what I've experienced, I am. Uh, there's a lot of contradictions I'm noticing.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Does your
I spent some time in it. So, lady here. idea there were a lot of competition that I eventually will have to.
The Dark Lord is a false god, and false gods must be destroyed.
We have a unique capacity for breaking his toys.
Well, following the stories is how I ended up here in the first place.
I mean, something guided you to us.
I hope it was the Dark Lady, because that's who I've been trying to reestablish with. Enough of a connection, I can still do what I do.
Well then, either you were working on behalf of the Dark Lady, or it's the Dark Lord who's secretly behind all of it. Either way, this should be fun.
Yay!
Yeah.
But yes, things are different now. And I'll just kind of like look at the others and be like, we're together now. I have a problem when I run off on my own.
Yep.
Truer
I'm-
words have never been spoken.
It's taken me a long time to learn, but I am stronger with a group. And we will overthrow the mayor with the power of friendship. Sorry, I had to. I think together we can beat him. And I can atone for some small, minuscule piece of the things that I've had to do while here. Now we just need to figure out how we're going to do it. I'll kind of look around at the others. What are your thoughts? It saddens me to say this, but while I was under the mayor's employee, I may have helped him with certain strategies to make his manor less flammable.
Well, I
That's
mean,
heretical.
It is. I think that may have been my suffering.
Okay, the chat.
With that, unfortunately, that is going to be where we end it for tonight. Sorry to cut a little short. Had something come up, but if you missed anything, I upload them all to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Trainer Jody. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.